Oh, we're getting all the fall vibes up in here. Hello, my name is Louise and welcome to Adventures with Yarn. This is my knitting and crochet podcast in which I talk about the crafts that I get up to. Mostly knitting and crochet and some cross stitch too. I'm coming at you from Oregon, which is in the Pacific United States of America, where I work as a nurse and live with my husband and our 5-pound Chihuahua Houdini. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for taking the time to come and check me out. And if you are already a subscriber, welcome back. I'm glad you joined me. As always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Okay, so I have plenty to show you guys today. I have some finished objects, I have some works in progress, I have a couple new starts, I've got some cross stitch, and I also have some acquisitions to show you, some new yarn and a super cute stitch marker. Alright, so let's get into it. So I showed you guys the crochet pumpkin that I made last episode, and I even showed you the yarn that I wanted to use to make another one, and I did. So this is a pattern that I found on Pinterest. I literally just searched for crochet pumpkin, and what's fun about this is it uses a certain stitch. It's a half double crochet into the third loop, and it makes this texture that looks like it's knitted. And just like the previous one, I used a cinnamon stick for the stem, wrapped it in some twine, give it a little whimsy, and I just think this is so cute. I'm getting a lot of love on Instagram for this, and yeah, if I had the motivation to like make a ton of these, I would totally make them and sell them. But as it is, I'm like really bad about making the same thing twice even. Like, I mean, yeah, I've made a couple of these pumpkins now, but at least like they've been different colors or different sizes. And so that kind of like keeps my interest going. But also like I wanted to definitely have a few of these for the fall season to have in my house and just looking so cute. So I'm really loving this. I'm having a lot of fun with these crochet pumpkins. And of course they're filled with fiber fill. This also was able to be made out of stash yarn. So it is definitely some bargain yarn out of my stash. I have realized how much of my stash is bargain yarn. I definitely need to stop accepting yarn as gifts. Not so much gifts as, you know, like when people are just like, oh, I have all this yarn, I found it in my grandma's attic, let me give this to you. I just need to, you know, like, hey, you know what, thank you, but I've got enough yarn. I have lots of yarn. I have so much yarn. Anyways, so I'm glad that I could find a nice use for this in particular, and for this specific color, I did use all the rest of what I had in this color, especially because this is a worsted weight yarn, so it had to be held double to make this pumpkin. So there's that. Okay, last week I showed you the penny Royale hat that I had on the needles, and I'm glad to say that this is finished. So we have the penny Royale hat, and it is made, let's see if I can remember, it's Mandala Tweed in the colorway Buddha. So this is Lion brand Mandala Tweed, and really fun changing colors. I actually have a recipient who claimed this, someone who was definitely on my knit miss list to make for, but I didn't like specifically know what I was going to make for them, and they saw the last podcast and they claimed this. So this hat will have a home, and the colorway was so intriguing, I went ahead and decided to keep on going, to keep on using it. So I made a different hat Oh, I meant to look this up before I came and filmed because I finished this last week, but I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it down below. But this one is fun. Can you see the textures here? So basically it's kind of, I feel like the texture is kind of hidden with how the colorway goes, the tweed and the fading. But when you look closely, you can see it makes a really fun texture, kind of this diamond grid shape going on there. And I really like it. And so like I said, this is the same ball of yarn. We've got two different hats here. This one's kind of a bit more dark, and this one much lighter. You can see where this one starts, where this one ended. And then I went ahead and kept going with this same ball of yarn. I made a third hat. Now this is just a very simple beanie. It's actually called the Warp Speed beanie. I thought, you know, I want something simple. Let's show off the rest of this colorway. So it is just your very, very basic. We got a ribbed cuff or brim and the yarn here. So one ball of yarn making 3 hats, and that wasn't even the whole ball of yarn. I still have this little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I don't know if it's enough to make a baby hat with. I don't know. But that was a lot of fun, and I've got 3 hats to give away for Knitmas. So yeah. And speaking of Knitmas and Christmas, I have a finished sock, one sock to show you. This is the Out of Rhythm sock that I am making for Amy Florence's Festive Sockalong. I have this on the sock blocker a little bit off kilter so that you can see the cabled heart pattern that runs down the middle. Just runs right down the middle. And this yarn is so pretty. This is dyed by Zoe of Felicity Yarn Studio. And let's see if I can remember. This colorway is called Cardinal, I do believe, and Snow Globe. And together they make the Winter Wonderland sock set. Now at first I was drawn to this colorway. I saw it and I was like, I need that. I need that in my life. And so I pulled it out of my stash. I bought this last Christmas, and decided, you know, this is what I'm going to make my festive sock with. And then once I kind of started knitting on it for a bit, I started thinking, well, are these really Christmas colors? I'm not so sure. But then I was reminded a couple different things. I was reminded that yes, this is a really nice Christmas combo. I got out a Christmas quilt that my mom made me a couple years ago, and it had some of these colors in it. And just is so nice, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess this is Christmas colors. And then also on TV, like, I saw someone in their Christmas pajamas and they were these colors, and so I was corrected that this makes a very lovely Christmas combo, kind of like a modern combo, and I'm here for it and I love it. So one sock down. I don't know if I can show you the heel on this sock. So I have this askew, right? It does have a little heart cabled onto the heel. So I am loving this. I finished this a little bit ago, maybe 4 days now. It fits so wonderfully. I can't wait to knit up the other one and have them to wear. All right, so we've moved ahead to Christmas. Let's get back to fall. I'm going to take a break from the works in progress. I'm going to show you some of my acquisitions. I like fall, guys. I might be a little bit basic in that way, but you know, pumpkin spice and the leaves changing colors and the cold in the air, and I've been doing really good about not buying a ton of yarn, and so I wanted to treat myself to some yarn, specifically some autumn yarn. And so what do you think I did? I bought some yarn from BiffSugar Yarns, one of my favorite dyers ever, and look at this. This is her pumpkin colorway, and how perfect is this? Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. There is also, she did a collaboration with a designer, a pattern designer, and there is actually a pattern of a sock pattern that looks like it's got pumpkins going down the middle. So I might need to go out and buy that and knit up these socks. I was thinking of a green. I don't know if I'll use like a light green for like a contrast, heels, toes, and cuff. Maybe like a light kind of tonal green, or more of like a dark deep green. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And this other BiffSugar yarn that I got, you guys know I'm a sucker for pink. I love pink. Look at this. This is called Trick or Treat. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that this came before Halloween also. Oh, I just love her yarn. It's so beautiful. And this is so much fun. All these speckles in it. You've got the pinks, and then but you've got like little speckles of green and orange. Oh my gosh. So much fun. And then to top that off, I went ahead and treated myself to a stitch marker. Now this maker is new to me. This maker is called Little Night Lights, and I found her on Etsy. And let me see if I can show you guys this. This is a candy corn cake. Is that not adorable? Oh my gosh. I just think that is the cutest thing, and I cannot wait to have the perfect project to stick this on, probably the pumpkin socks or using that Trick or Treat yarn, and just have all the fall feels all in one knitting project. I'm stoked. All right, so next let's talk about cross stitching. Sorry I'm bouncing all over the place on this episode. There's a few things that are different. Oh, I didn't address my different backdrop. So there's that. And looks like I forgot to change the color that I was going to have in the background too, but oh well. Anyways, yeah, so a few different things. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. But I have been doing some cross stitch, and specifically I have a new baby niece to make a cross stitch project for. She was born on October 10th, and we didn't know what her gender was going to be until she was born, so I kind of held off until I knew. Now this project that I picked out for her could definitely be very gender neutral, but I just didn't want to make a decision until she was born. Then she was born, and I went and bought this Dimensions Gold Collection kit, and the title is Balloon Glow. And so here is the project. And like I said, this is a kit, so it's nice that it comes with all that I need. I put it on my Q frame, and this is my start. I've got kind of one balloon in the background with kind of like the mountain in the background. It's this little area here with the little mountains in the back. I thought that'd be a fun place to start, being close to the center of the pattern, and a point of interest too, being that little balloon, that hot air balloon there. So yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of cross stitch lately, but and I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of half cross stitches in what I did, but I felt like I got a lot of progress done on that for having just started. Or maybe it's just the motivation of the new baby. I went and bought another cross stitch kit. This one is much smaller. This one I'm going to make for my husband's grandma, his mama, if you will. And it is this little piece here. It is a religious piece. She really likes those kinds of things. Hopefully it's not glaring out. But basically, it's very simple too. About the footprints and in the sand, that kind of thing. And it just has a very simple little seashells in the foreground, a little bit of ocean in the background, and a lot of back stitching of words to make the words and letters and stuff. So a nice little quick something to make and give away for Christmas. What else? So the next thing I'm going to show you is a new start. I have cast on for a baby sweater. This is a baby sweater by Petite Knits, and all I have is the not even all of the ribbing so far, just a little bit of it. But I realized that I had enough of this yarn left over. I hope you can see the sparkle. So this is Knit Picks Stroll Glimmer in the blush colorway. It is so cute. It's a fingering weight yarn. It's pink, it's sparkly. Oh my gosh. You might recall that I have made a baby sweater with this yarn already last year. That was for my older niece. I did make her a sweater. I think it was the Itty Bitty Pretty sweater. And I still have enough left over, so I'm going to make another one. Obviously, this one is different. I have this on some size 1 ChiaoGoo circular needles, but they're not going to stay on these needles for long. Once the ribbed cuff is done, I'm going to move on to some other needles and a larger size, like I think size 3, US size 3, and I don't actually have double pointed needles in that size, or if I do, I couldn't find them, so I had to order those, but there'll be plenty of time. I've got this is, you know, plenty to knit up. This is a top down raglan style increase cardigan sweater, and I just love making baby sweaters. I really should make more sweaters for myself that I can wear, but of course I can wait till after Christmas to do that. So that's exciting, that's fun. And then the last thing to show you is a continuous work in progress that I've been working on. This is my granny stripe blanket by Attic 24, made up of all my mini skeins. So this is a combination of mini skeins from an advent calendar I got last year by Stew Yarns, I do believe. And I've got minis from Madeline Tosh. I've got minis from Felicity Yarn Studio. I've got minis from Amanda of Wallflower Gal Fibers. What else? Some Yarnaceous minis. Just basically all the beautiful minis I have in one place, and I kind of just pull out one at a time and wind it up and crochet it on. This is going to be a really good size blanket. I mean, really. And at first I think I was afraid that the yarn wouldn't, like the minis wouldn't like go all the way across and back. So I just started with one color, one stripe per color so far. And there's definitely enough for, I could have gone down and back, but instead wound the ball up, crocheted it on, and like I said, just the one stripe, and then I'll use the rest of it again later on in the blanket. So I'm slowly changing my collection of mini skeins from little skeins into little balls and being stored away and watching this blanket grow. I think because I have to wind up all the mini skeins right now, it is taking a little bit longer because I have to sit there and do that. But you know, I'm just going to keep working on it because this is a really fun project. I really love how this is turning out. I think that it's really funny that I get a lot of really hot and cold reactions to this project. Like fellow crocheters and YouTubers, and you know, people that are making this, they just love it, and so do I. I think that the colors are beautiful, and like I've heard one particular YouTuber say that like you would think that this wouldn't work, but it just does. It just does, and it looks great and looks beautiful. But then I have like people in person, I've gotten a few comments of people thinking like, oh, it looks like a unicorn barf, or it looks like something a grandma would have on their bed. And to them, I'm just like, psh, whatever. I love it, and that's what matters, because this is going to be mine. And I mean, what's awesome too is that like, besides the Advent yarn minis, like I've picked all these out. These are all colors that I just love. And so I am doing another advent calendar of mini skeins this year, and so I'll be adding that on into this. All right, well, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to me go on about my crafts. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'd really love to hear what you think about the new changes around here. All right, well, I'll see you next time. Bye.